Do tell us what the police have established so far. One, that the 5 of the accused, were all of them drunk. Has that been established so far?
Well, the FIR has mentioned that Amit and Deepak, now Deepak was the one who was driving the car, both of them were under the influence of liquor. This is as per as the Delhi Police's FIR. Deepak had apparently confessed this to a friend that they were both in drunk condition. Now, the blood samples of all the 5 people have been taken. We also spoke with an official source on why there's a delay in receiving a confirmation on whether they were drunk or not. According to the official sources, the time when they were drunk and the time the blood samples were taken, there were quite some hours that had passed. So it's a little difficult to establish whether the liquor was still in the blood, but they are still trying to get a report on this. But we'll have to wait for an official confirmation at least on whether they were drunk or not. But so far as their confession is concerned, both Deepak and Amit were drunk.
All right. So the driver mainly, at least 2 of them have admitted to being drunk. The driver was clearly drunk. They're trying to establish if all 5 of them were drunk. They had sent, in fact, the police had sent reports, samples. Their tests were done soon after the accident. Has the report come back? Is there any clarity on that, on the reports?
Well, the postmortem report primarily actually details all the 41 injuries that were received by Anjali. These were anti-mortal injuries. It ruled out the sexual assault angle as well. But what we are right now learning, the family members are claiming that the postmortem report scientifically also suggests that she was not under the influence of liquor. We'll have to wait for some time till the family members make a statement. But as on date, just before Manish Sisodia entering the house, we had a quick word with the family member, and they said that once the Deputy Chief Minister leaves the spot, they will make a statement before the media, and they are against the statements made by Anjali's friend Nidhi. They also have gone ahead and claimed that this is nothing but a cover-up that the Delhi police is trying to do.
You know, Shreya, if you could really give us some clarity, because this is the information Anjali's friend Nidhi has given. She claimed that Anjali was very drunk on that fateful night. She got out of that room. She was so drunk. She fought with her because she was upset that she had broken up with her boyfriend. And out of a drunken fit, she boarded a bike and insisted on riding the scooty that night. So Anjali's friend Nidhi almost accuses Anjali of drinking and riding her vehicle. And she also claimed at one point that Anjali was so rash that she almost crashed into a truck, and my life was at risk at that point. So any word again, if you can clearly tell us, on whether or not the police have found indeed that Anjali was drunk that night or not.
Well, it's a little difficult given the condition of the body when that was recovered of Anjali's. I mean, there were photographs and visuals that were not fit to be aired on television is why they were not. But the ones like us, we've seen the visuals. It must be a little difficult for even the official reports to completely unearth that whether she had any substance because, you know, most of her internal organs had also been ruptured. It was injured in that dragging that the body had to undergo of the 12-kilometer stretch. However, it's the family members' claim that the post-mortem report suggests that she was not under the influence of liquor, and very soon when they make that statement formally before the entire media, we'll get a little bit of clarity. But the Delhi police categorically has already ruled out the sexual assault angle, which is also proven in the post-mortem report that came out yesterday. And till date, Delhi police maintains that this is a case of a fatal accident.
All right, so you're saying that the post-mortem report is yet to establish whether she was drunk or not. That clarity is not yet there.
Well, yes, it's definitely a little difficult because, you know, as we speak, it's extremely important to understand that a body was dragged for a 13-kilometer stretch and there were injuries in her internal organs as well. You know, it's not that only her outer body or the outer structure was the one which received injuries. Those who saw the visuals which were not fit to be aired know that the injuries were deep inside and there there were internal hemorrhages as well that took place along. Whether in such a condition it's impossible to completely validate that a person was drunk or not is something that we'll have to get a confirmation from the officials. But as on date, there's no official confirmation on the same. It is only Nidhi's statement that the Delhi police is also relying on.
As we see visuals there of Aam Aadmi Party's Atishi, Manish Sisodia, who've all landed there at the house of Anjali. They are meeting with the family members. This is, of course, taken a political turn as the AAP government in Delhi, the ruling government in the national capital, pointing fingers at the failure on the part of the police, saying this is absolute lapses on the Delhi police. And this is also their chance to hit out at the Delhi LG VK Saxena, under whom the Delhi police comes under, and accusing them of not ensuring adequate law and order in the state, in the national capital. As you have the Aam Aadmi Party netas refusing to take verbatim the claims made by Anjali's friend Nidhi. In fact, India Today spoke to Nidhi exclusively, the friend, the pillion rider, on that fateful night, who was with Anjali and who abandoned Anjali. One should remember that this friend here, you see the visuals on your screens, this is of Nidhi, who was pillion rider. She was with Anjali that fateful night. She was very much on that bike when the accident took place. And after the collision with that Baleno car, this girl Nidhi decides to run away from the spot out of fear. Of course, it still is not clear. There's no clarity on why she ran and why was she so scared. If at all an accident took place and you are a friend to a person, you would definitely try to save the girl in any way, at least call the family members of the girl, speak to the police, if not for, seek help from bystanders. If there were anybody around, ask for help. That's the most basic one should do. Even if you're not a friend, an acquaintance. It's the most simple human behavior. Even an acquaintance would have tried to help. But here's a friend. She calls herself a good friend of Anjali. She even claims in the interview with India Today that she became quite familiar with Anjali. They became close recently. Anjali used to share her boyfriend tales with her, and she knew everything about Anjali at one point. This is what the girl says in that exclusive conversation. But on the day that they met with an accident, she decides to abandon Anjali and run away from the spot. And that's the CCTV footage India Today has access. That's what we're playing out on our screens as well, showing Nidhi, Anjali's friend, in that red jacket, almost rushing to her house, and then waiting for the doors to open up, holds up right outside, very calm. She seems quite calm, and then enters the house while someone from inside opens the door.